the heart of a city that gleamed with towers of glass and steel, lived a man named Amir. To the world, Amir was the pinnacle of success. He was a brilliant architect, his name etched onto plaques of the city's most ambitious buildings. He lived in a penthouse that touched the clouds, a silent testament to a life spent chasing the horizon. Yet, in the quiet hours of the night, when the city's hum subsided, a different kind of silence would envelop him, a hollow, echoing void. His prayers were rushed, if remembered at all, and his connection to his faith was like a distant echo of childhood memories. His life was a meticulously designed structure, but the foundation was trembling. The tremor began as a barely perceptible shake, the loss of a monumental contract he had considered a certainty. It was a project that was to be his legacy. Its loss was not just a financial blow, but a crack in the very facade of his identity. For the first time in his life, the unshakable Amir felt the unnerving grip of failure. The city, once his kingdom, now felt alien. The towering buildings he had designed seemed to mock him, their cold surfaces reflecting a man he no longer recognized. Driven by an unfamiliar restlessness, he abandoned his car and walked. He walked for hours, leaving the polished chrome and glass of the financial district for the narrow, winding streets of the old city. Here, the air was thick with the scent of spices and old paper. It was in one of these alleys, tucked away from the world's frantic pace, that he found a small, unassuming bookstore. The sign above, carved into aged wood, simply read, "The Seeker's Respite." Inside, surrounded by towering shelves of books that seemed to whisper secrets of ages past, sat an old man. His face was a roadmap of time. His white beard flowed like a gentle stream, and his eyes held a serene light. This was Sheikh Yusuf. He looked up from his book, not with surprise, but with a quiet welcome, as if he had been expecting a visitor. "Peace be upon you." The Sheikh's voice was calm, like the rustling of old pages. "You look like a man who's been walking a long way to find something he has not yet named." Amir, usually so commanding, found himself at a loss for words. He simply nodded, the weight of his unspoken burdens pressing down on him. He spoke of his lost contract, his voice laced with a bitterness he couldn't hide. The Sheikh listened patiently. When Amir finished, he didn't offer condolences or business advice. Instead, he asked a simple question. "You build magnificent structures, my son. But tell me, what have you built for the journey that has no end?" The question hung in the air, heavier than any stone Amir had ever lifted. The journey with no end. The Akira. The afterlife. It was a concept he had pushed to the furthest corners of his mind. Sheikh Yusuf continued softly. "Allah tells us in the Qur'an, and the life of this world is nothing but play and amusement, but far better is the home in the hereafter for those who are righteous. Will you not then understand? You have mastered the art of building for this temporary world. But the most important blueprint is the one for your soul." He spoke of risk sustenance, explaining that it is decreed by Allah. What is meant for you will reach you, even if it is between two mountains, and what is not meant for you will not reach you, even if it is between your two lips. Your worry cannot change the decree of Allah, but your gratitude can increase His blessings. Over the next few weeks, Amir found himself drawn back to the bookstore. Each visit was a lesson. Sheikh Yusuf never preached. He shared stories of the prophets, verses from the Qur'an that spoke directly to Amir's aching heart, and wisdom that was both profound and practical. He encouraged Amir to visit a small, local kitchen that fed the poor, not far from the bookstore. Hesitantly, Amir went. He, who was used to dining in the most exclusive restaurants, stood in a queue with men and women whose faces were etched with hardship but whose eyes shone with dignity. He didn't just donate money. He put on an apron and served food. He felt the warmth of a grateful hand, heard the sincere prayer of an old woman, and saw the smile of a child who had received a hot meal. In that humble kitchen, amidst the steam and clatter of plates, Amir felt a sense of purpose he had never found in his glass tower. This was real. This was meaningful. One night, Amir had a powerful dream. He saw himself standing before the most magnificent building he had ever conceived. It was breathtaking in its scale and beauty, but as he stepped inside, he found it completely empty. The vast halls echoed with a profound loneliness. Then, the ground began to shake, and he looked down to see that this grand palace was built upon sand, its foundations crumbling with every wave from a coming tide. He woke up in a cold sweat, his heart pounding. The message was as clear as the dawn that was breaking outside his window. He had spent his life building a beautiful, empty palace on sand. He went to the mosque for the Fajr prayer, the morning prayer, for the first time in years. As he stood shoulder to shoulder with other men, the rich and the poor, the young and the old, all facing the same direction, bowing to the one and only Creator, the emptiness inside him began to fill. It was filled not with the echo of his own achievements, but with a profound sense of peace and belonging. He returned to Sheikh Youssef, no longer the arrogant architect, but a humble student. He started to pray his 5 daily prayers, not as a chore, but as a conversation with his Lord. He began reading the Qur'an, not as a historical text, but as a living, breathing guide. Amir did not abandon his profession. Instead, he transformed it. He used his skills to design a new, beautiful, and functional wing for the local orphanage, free of charge. He started a foundation that used a portion of his company's profits to build shelters for the homeless. His work was no longer just about creating monuments of steel and glass, but about building a legacy of compassion and service. He still lived in the city of towers, but he no longer felt lost in it. He had found his direction. He understood that true wealth was not in what you owned, but in what you gave. True success was not in the height of the buildings you designed, but in the strength of the foundation you built for your soul. His life was still a structure, but now it was a structure filled with light, built upon the unshakable rock of faith, gratitude, and a purpose that reached beyond the horizon of this world and into the eternity of the next. And in this, he found a peace that all the treasures of the world could never buy.